Hey guys, markets in turmoil, a little bit of a Bitcoin bounce, banks going under. What the heck do we do and where do we go? What could possibly be the answer I'm going to talk about? Let's dig into it. Okay guys, welcome back to the Crypto Wave. I appreciate you tuning in. I apologize for my voice. I've been sick for just over a week, but I am finally starting to get my voice back. My goodness, what a crazy week. What a crazy weekend. Banks failing, as we know, unless you've been living under a rock. SVB crashed down. Obviously, Signature Bank as well. The government here at the U.S. is going to bail them out, which is just nuts. More turmoil, more uncertainty. Markets crashed. They temporarily bounced back with the announcements that they're going to be people are going to be made whole. Not to mention, actually, it did affect crypto, which is pretty nuts considering we're supposed to be decentralized. However, if you were paying attention, this USDC coin, USDC that we use quite a bit, depegged for a bit of time. Why the heck did it depeg? Well, the company Circle that holds a vast majority, and in fact the majority of, USDC was holding about 3% of their wealth in SVB. It was about 3.5 billion. Now, through the weekend, they were making some announcements. However, you can't beat fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And anytime a bank fails and USDC or Circle was not able to be withdrawn, there was a bank run. Bank failed, needed a bailout. Well, eventually they said they would be made whole, but even without being made whole, Circle came out and had some posts saying, you know, at USDC, we are solid, we are fine, we have plenty of reserves, and they did indeed inject some of those reserves in here. The other thing that's kind of interesting is now we're starting to see the Bitcoin price shoot up a little bit. We're up to 24 now. I think it's a bit temporary. You know, I think it's kind of good for crypto when they see centralized entities crumble like this. Some people who maybe have been on the fence are going to be pulling those funds out, and they're going to be looking for places to put it. Now, I'm not going to say this is going to create the next, bull run or anything of that nature, but it's not shocking to me that here we are starting to creep back up with some of these prices and things. And I think it's not a shock that some of the stocks are going down. They're going to fluctuate back and forth, but leave no doubt, I'm not a financial advisor, no, I'm not an accountant, but I know pretty much basics with economics. And this is just the beginning, in my opinion. I don't know, I can't say that other banks are going to fail or anything, but everything's primed to continue to go down, unfortunately. The government, post-COVID, they've been injecting a ton of money into the economy, It's the same concept of your bank account. You can't spend more than you have. You go negative and you own interest and all this kind of stuff. Right now, we are spending money hand over fist. It is going to catch up, and we're starting to see it catch up. The feds have been raising the rates regularly. I know last time they erred on the side of caution, only raised it 0.25. There was talk about it going up another 0.25, possibly 0.5 now at this point, which we're going to have to unfortunately do. We're at a point now where recession, I feel like, is inevitable. You're going to start seeing major layoffs. You're going to start seeing a lot of startups failing. You're going to start seeing very similar patterns to the economic downturn back in early 2000. Was it 2008? I think it was. It's going to get ugly, guys. This is just my opinion. Excuse me. Sorry, it's midnight over here. So what are we going to do? I mean, honestly, I still have some of my funds in the bank. I'm in one of the major ones. I'm not stressing it quite yet. I don't think there's going to be a scenario that the governments would let, the 3-4 top banks in the U.S. completely crumble. But at the same time, in order to bail them out, it's going to cause more havoc. either way, traditional financing, my paychecks, what I do for a living, that's obviously, I'm going to keep that into that centralized side until there's an alternative. It's never a smart move to move all funds into a single unit. So by no means would I ever take my paychecks and put them all into Bitcoin or all into Ethereum or any of those kinds of things. You always want to diversify. And I have my funds diversified across many things. And one of them, as you guys know, is obviously the animal farm. I'm part of the Drip network. I'm part of the Animal Farm network. And it's interesting to think, you're getting these high yields on Animal Farm. And in reality, these prices have been held up even in this bearish market. And even with all the turmoil, these prices have held up. And not only have these prices held up, but development continues. Say what you will about crypto, say what you will about Forex, say what you will about Animal Farm. But here we are approaching and coming pretty dang close to a recession that's going to be coming here. And this thing is still chugging along. It's still generating me income. And that income is actually way better than what I would get if I was holding this. Even in a high yield, high percent, whatever you call it, savings account or whatever the case is. I'm even surpassing that. And that includes the Drip network too. Now, granted, I know there's a lot of people that kind of FUD the Drip network because of the swap prices going down. We're down to that 43-cent mark. But again, imagine this thing has been going on for a multitude of years. It has paid out, I don't even know, an upteen amount of money going to people in the form of Drip. It's still producing 1% a day. It's still paying people out. This value is going to be predicated on a multitude of things. Specifically utility. Now, some of the big stuff that's going to be coming, and I can't wait for the next AMA. I believe it's on Thursday. One of the big things I'm waiting for is fiat on-ramp. I think that's going to be pretty dang huge, especially when people are trying to find easy ways of going from centralized to decentralized. Drip drop draw is going to be coming. That's going to be more of a gambling type utility, which is always good, and it will encourage burn. It is going to encourage probably some new capital, but it's also encouraged those people who are already in the faucet and have been claiming their 1% a day to utilize it. But again, if you're going to be utilizing that and it's going to be burning some, that's going to support the system overall. The paperwork, I was actually going to go over the papers that have been released for Drip Drop Draw, but because of the turmoil over the weekend, I thought I would more just generally speak of these projects. If anybody's on the sideline and they're just kind of dragging their feet and they're not quite sure, and when do you get in, and is this price going to keep going down, and what about Animal Farm? Can it sustain? It's already deflationary, all these things that they're talking about. All I can say is, if you're going to go into something risky, you might as well go into something risky that's been proving itself. Not to say banks haven't proven themselves, but obviously there's a little bit of turmoil there. Again, never put your money 100% into something. I would never recommend anybody take all their savings and put it into a single platform, but definitely diversify a bit. If you had some money in the bank and you're a little hesitant keeping all of your money in that bank, given uncertainty, and you have been back and forth or debating going into the decentralized space and going into crypto, I've been doing this for many, many years. I've been part of crypto for many, many years. There's been good things, there's been bad things, there's been scams, there's been all kinds of stuff. However, I haven't been in one that's quite like Drip and Animal Farm. It is consistent. They're still building. There's multitude of things that are on the docket that are going to be coming. Specifically, the one I'm looking for. Obviously, there is another gambling type game here that's going to be coming, and that's going to be this Plinko game. I'll play this a little bit just so you guys can see it. Now, keep in mind, again, this is gambling. This is going to be up somebody's alley. This is going to not be up somebody's alley. Now, me personally, I'll goof with it. I'll play with it. I may even, showcase it on YouTube a little bit. If people enjoy that, I have no problem using some of my funds to support the system and support the projects that are being brought out. But I'm more of an investment I like investing in projects like this, and I like supporting in projects like this. I like having my money go in and be utilized for a return. And in this particular case, the returns that I come across on this are going to be through the yield. It's going to be through the dog pound. It's going to be through the dog token, through the Animal Farm, and through the pig pen. Pig pen has been consistent. Everybody's worried about this value going down. 665,000. It's been down since 2 million. It's been creeping down slowly. When it first came on, it was well over 2 million. We were averaging about 20 cents a ticket, or 20 cents a pig. We're down to about 6 cents a pig now. Actually below that, we're about 0.059, which actually be even less today. But I'm not worried about it because there's tons of rehypothecation funds. There is still the production of dog pound and the yield from that. This is still paying out as it's intended. This is still feeding in. There's still value, or there's still funds feeding into this vault, although minimal based on transaction volume. And there's also a multitude of things that are coming to utilize these tokens and utilize this platform. Between the single asset staking and rehypothecation, and actually he was talking about an entirely new, another thing that they're trying to add on that in essence will let them try to rehypothecate other funds and such as well. I think they're talking about rehypothecating LP funds. This is going to be a place that people are slowly going to learn is safe to place their funds in order to produce income. Now, the most key factor here in those people who are coming in, that, you know, most yield farms, you buy dogs or you buy pigs and you are predicated on selling that token in order to make your profit. You can literally buy some pigs, throw it into the pig pen, and your profit comes in the form of BUSD. You don't have to sell a single pig and you will gain BUSD. Yes, it is low at the moment, but this is a long-term project. I'm a long-term holder. Anybody who follows my channel knows that. You just need to realize how powerful that is. Everything, all cash flows are going to be pointing at this pig pen of all features that are going to be coming out going forward, including the dog pound features and dog pound utilization. And again, tell me another place that you can actually buy a local asset such as dog pound, or even farm it, stake it, and you'll actually earn BNB. So you're not even having to sell the dogs in order to earn BNB. However, you still have that option to. It's not like you're restricted to. However, there is a tax on there. You know, it does encourage holding it a little bit longer term, and it does make you play the game a little bit with the tokenomics. But all in all, the two things that I'm going to be promoting, I'm going to be starting a TikTok here pretty soon, and I'm going to be pushing pretty big. There's a lot of other things that I go into. However, the ones I'm going to be pushing the most at this point, because they have the proven track record, they have a proven development team. They have not been hacked. I have not lost my funds. There's been multitudes of things that have occurred. Everything is stable and everything's working exactly as it planned. In this uncertain time, if you are looking for somewhere to trust, somewhere to stash a percentage of your portfolio to start earning a little bit more yield and get your feet wet, I encourage you to click the links below and join in on these. I'll do another video hopefully tomorrow, maybe the next day. We'll go into drip, drop, draw a little bit more with the white paper and such. I was going to do that today, but I wanted to talk more about just the support of these projects and just the support of these platforms. So I hope this helps. I hope it was beneficial. I hope if you have somebody that could benefit from watching this, that's maybe sitting on the sideline, share this video with them. Like and comment below if you have anything to say. I very much appreciate you tuning in as always. Have a great night. I'm going to try and get some rest.